Alright, here we go again. This, another micro review going out to Rhea, Marcia, Andrews, Johnson, yes! Full names, cause Google Plus demands it. Damn it, you must submit to the plus. Submit. Actually, don't do that. Anyway, whatever. Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake is what she requested. Reviewing it, using it with the MSX emulator that never got to do it before, and thank God that the internal video recording in the emulator did not corrupt everything like last time, because I didn't really want to go through that again. But it's okay, because this one actually did it correctly, and I can actually, like, use this footage. And, as for the game, well, as you can see, it looks pretty good, especially for the time, but the MSX was sort of I suppose from a visual perspective, it could outperform most of what was on the market at the time. And if you're wondering what the hell an MSX is, it's one of those gaming PCs that Japan and Europe love so much, and America hated. That's really about it. There's literally nothing more to it than that. I kind of wish there was, but that's really it. I mean, they use keyboard interfaces, but they were more like game consoles just with keyboards. Wonder why those didn't stick around. Anyway, so the game is it's Metal Gear, and it's stealth based, much like the Metal Gear Solid series is. At least the good ones are, and it actually is a really fun game. To be honest, I was genuinely surprised. I wasn't sure how well it had aged. And it's all right. It really is. It's very basic, I think, is the best way to put it. Because I mean, you have your stealth and you're moving around and you're shooting, but it's all it's all overhead, and it's very old school and basic. But if you like that, this is probably for you in a way. And I think most Metal Gear Solid fans would probably appreciate this game, especially if they're into old school games. And in fact, playing it, I really only have one massive complaint with this game. Now, you remember how I mentioned the MSX was keyboard-based. So, obviously, you had this lovely QWERTY keyboard to work with. And you'd think that would mean that mapping out controls for a basic game like this would be pretty simple. But apparently, that is not the case. Because, for the longest time, I could not, for the life of me, figure out how the hell to crawl. Like, I knew it was in the game, I knew you had to do it, it was pretty clear, but I couldn't figure out how the hell to do it. And I pressed every goddamn button on my keyboard, and it wouldn't work. I'm like, well, maybe something's wrong with the emulator. But first thing I did was I just looked at the controls of the game to make sure that I was, to figure out what button I was supposed to be pressing. Okay, so get this. The punch button is N, right? Alright, and you move around with the arrow keys. And the space button is to fire whatever weapon you happen to be carrying. Guess how you crouch? You'd think maybe, M or B or any of the other gajillion frickin' keys on the keyboard. No. In order to crouch and crawl, you press N and space at the same time. Why? I don't understand why that is. Like, what was wrong with just mapping crouch to a different button? It's not like you don't have plenty of options here. Lovely keyboard, but no, just make us press two buttons at the same time, because mapping it to a separate key would be difficult, I guess. Anyway, other than that, though, the game is actually pretty good, and I actually recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the Metal Gear series at all. So with that, this is Darkness. I bid you all a fond farewell.